Hello, this is Simon, otherwise known as Gundam UK, and this is a work in progress update for the Typhoon Cerberus, as you can see here. So as you can see, I've now finished all of the weapons, and all I really did was a lot of masking to create these grey areas and to pick out a few more details. Also did a kind of Arctic camo effect on that. Don't know how well you can see it, but it's kind of like lots of dots, lots of squares. Did the same thing for these bullpup rifles, though these were kind of experimental at first, and I did the squares a bit too close together, but that's okay. You got to start learning somewhere. And then for the cleavers, I added a kind of metallic finish to the blades, and also did some weathering. I'll get onto that. For the weathering on here, I just did some light chipping along all of the edges, and to do that I just used, excuse me, don't want to throw that, just use this makeup sponge, tore a little bit off here, and then dabbed it in some acrylic chipping paint here along the edges, just to create kind of a rusty effect. Although here you can see I kind of made a bit of a mistake when I was masking and ended up pulling some paint off, because unfortunately this paint that I'm using is not as strong as Tamiya, and I thought I would just leave that and turn it into some kind of sort of weathery feature. Bit lazy, I know, but okay, it looks okay. The paint I'm actually using is this Mr. Hobby Aqueous, in case you need reminding. And it's very nice, very vibrant. I like the colour mixes, but yeah, it's just not as strong as Tamiya. So I ended up using some clear coat, which is, bear with me a second, which is this stuff. I did one layer of the bottom masking, so the off-white colour, which is this one here, then a layer of this, then did the masking, and then finished it off with some bright white just to create this sort of camo effect. If I didn't use this, the masking probably would have taken off more and left a bit of a residue behind, which I discovered on this one here, because when I peeled the masking off it left a kind of grubby residue, which you don't really get with Tamiya, which is unfortunate, but lesson learned. Also did some decals for detail, painted in a few sort of or hand painted in some more detail on the screws here, that kind of thing. I added like a metallic barrel on this one, and yeah, these are more or less done. The only thing I've got to do is just give it a bit of a top coat, but I'll do that once the rest of the model is completed, just to keep it consistent. And oh yeah, one more thing, I also weathered a little bit using these, which are graphite pencils. I found that they're really good for making sort of grubby, fumey kind of finish, and I used it on these sort of holes along here to indicate a bit of heat damage. Same on this side, and of course on the top end of the barrel, just had a kind of grubby, heat affected area. And also did it along the edges of these blades, just here, just to pick out a bit more detail in the blades. And I didn't weather the blades specifically because I thought, well, you wouldn't really expect blades that need to be very sharp and choppy to be rusty. So I kind of left those as they were, like they're rust proof sort of thing. And I might consider later on maybe adding some blood splats. Not entirely sure. Kind of would fit in the Marvel Love universe because it is a little bit gory. Next, I'm working on the main model, and here is one leg. And unfortunately I had to do a bit of seam line removal. So what I did was I painted all of the inner parts first, just in some metallics. I can give you an example. This is the waist section. I've painted that in stainless steel, L-clad stainless steel. Some parts are in duralanium, which is kind of my go-to inner frame metallic colour. And the detail parts that are inside the knee here I did in chrome, so it kind of makes it stick out. But you'll see what I mean in a later video when I take this masking off. So I've been spending most of the day getting rid of the seam lines along here, all the way up here, all the way across the back here, and all the way up here the thigh. Took a while. Used a little bit of what is it? Wait a sec. Used a little bit of this Mr. Surfacer just to fill in any small gaps, and it seems to have done the trick pretty well. So the next stage is to get this stuff primed. And that's about it for my work in progress for now. The model itself is going to have the same kind of camo pattern and the same kind of weathering, just to keep it all nice and consistent. I'm considering doing a kind of masking pattern on the model itself, just to give it some kind of interest, add some more detail to it. And again, still considering adding loads of blood splats, might be a nice effect. We'll see how that goes. But first I need to get all the armour done. I've still got quite a fair amount to do. I mean, I still have the body here. I still have these two kind of thrusters that go on the back. I mean, I've still got the arms, these super humongoid blades that go in the arms. So yeah, it's a fair amount of work still to do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.